everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be making a couple of Valentines using the Pink and Main Card Cut Essentials die set number 4 and the Pink and Main card sketches that go along with it. And I'm also using this Coca Rosa love letter cutting die set. And as always, I'll have links to these things below in the description box. And the papers I'm using are from my stash and from companies that no longer exist or from a paper pad that is 15 years old. So dig into your stash and pull out something you haven't used in a long time. So I prefer to use my Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus, but I wanted to show everyone that these Pink and Main die cut essentials will fit in a regular size die cutting machine. So what I've done is I've cut down the paper that I'm going to be using to 5 3/4 by 4 1/2 because I'm only going to be using the top part of this cutting die, and this is die number 4. And so I'm just going to lay that on there. And any fiddling I'm doing right now isn't because of the die. It's because I just want to make sure that the lines are straight. As you can see, this is plaid, and I really don't want it to be crooked. So I've got that on there. You can see that it fits beautifully. So if you had any questions about whether or not this was going to fit in your regular Big Shot or your Cuttlebug, I hope that this answers the question for you. And again, like I said, I'm fiddling because of the lines. I want the lines. If I was using, a non-directional paper, it would be totally different, but I want everything to be straight. So I'm just going to crank this right through and right back out. And this is the first time I've used this cutting die, so we're going to see how well it did. And, well, I've had this problem before. Wow. I'm really bummed. I don't want to waste this paper, so I'm going to go, look at that. It just did not cut all the way through. I'm going to go line it up with this again and put it through, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm speeding up this process because it took a while, but I'm not cutting anything out. And I'm going to be honest, this was a little stressful. I didn't want to waste paper that was 15 years old that I can't replace. And that was more than 6 passes through my Cuttlebug, some with the cutting side facing down, some with it facing up. And I don't know whether to blame the cutting die or the Cuttlebug. But I figured it should have done better than that no matter what, and I'm glad it happened on camera. But watch till the end because I've decided I want to test this with my Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus. So out of curiosity, I'm cutting the rest of my pieces with my Cuttlebug and the other cutting dies using regular cardstock and glitter paper. And even though I sped this up, I didn't edit anything out. And you can see that it cut beautifully. In fact, even the intricate words cut in one pass through the Cuttlebug. So I don't know why it took so many passes to get the other die to cut all the way through. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I almost didn't make this video because that die cutting experience was just, well, it was frustrating, nerve-wracking, and actually tied my tummy in knots. But, I'm going to finish this video. I was glad to see that my other pieces cut good. And when I'm done with this, I am going to try using that same cutting die with my Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus, even though you saw that it cut these things just fine in the Cuttlebug. In fact, the words only went through once because I cranked it through too far to bring it back again. And so, I don't know. I mean, it did a great job on those, but this was scary because I didn't, well, you know, you're like, what are you afraid of? Well, I'm afraid of wasting paper that I like that I can't get anymore because the paper pad was, 15 years old. And so it was like, oh my gosh, if I use this and I waste it, it's gone. And if I had to cut another piece or do something different, that my plans for making this card were, let me make sure I'm lining that up right. The plans for making this card would have been messed up. I mean, it was just frustrating to say the least. And I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever been that upset making a card, but I was. And so I'm glad that I finally got those pieces cut out. It wasn't necessarily as easy as I had hoped, lining them back up again. Because, some dies I can just slide them in and they kind of attach, right where they're supposed to go. And it was just a little bit difficult. There's still some washi tape on the back. It was a little difficult because there were just so many pieces. It wasn't like I was trying to connect one piece back in. There were several pieces that weren't cutting. And as you could see, the last time I put it through, when I had to use the washi tape to hold it on, that I put it through like just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Uh-oh, I turned this. Let's try this again. Okay. So, yeah. Was not the experience that I wanted. I had hoped that since I'd cut the paper right, so that I wasn't wasting any paper and I wasn't going to have to fiddle with it, making it fit. And, okay. Anyways, now I need to figure out where I'm putting this and how I'm putting it, and if I'm putting it straight or crooked, because like I said, I'm just kind of like right now, and I probably should just take a break for a minute. Sorry, while I was off camera pulling my thoughts together, I actually put the envelope and the heart and the hugs on there, and I also die cut some little pink hearts that match the envelope and added some, it's like Wink of Stella, but it's called Shimmer Brush to it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to be using my Zig two-way glue pen and put the love you on the envelope. And I love the glue pen because I have to do it on paper, okay, because I just make a mess with it. But I love that it, doesn't ooze out. And I'm going to put this on at an angle. And then I'm going to figure out where I'm putting those hearts. And I think the larger ones I am going to put down on the bottom and use foam tape. I might actually use foam tape on all of them, just to add a little dimension. Okay. There you go. That's what I have so far. So I'm still waiting for these to dry, or the bigger ones to dry, but I don't know if I'm going to pop these up or just put them on there. But it needed something. I was torn because the sketch calls for the other piece to be over here. I was kind of torn about, possibly putting it in the middle, and that's when I decided, let's just have some, little pink hearts floating around up here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm showing you how I'm laying them out, kind of. And then I know this isn't really that dry yet. I think I am going to put these down here on the bottom. Kind of like that. Maybe move this over a little bit more. So I think that's my plan. Okay, I found my 3D foam dots and I'm using those to pop up the 2 hearts that I'm placing down there on the right side. And I kind of sped things up because I was taking my time figuring out where I wanted to place them. I mean, I already knew where I wanted to place them, but I was just making sure, just wanting to make sure that everything was perfect. And then I decided for the top 3 hearts that I would just glue them on with my Beacon 3-in-1 because they were too small for the foam dots that I had. And in a way, they still had a little dimension since they are raised above the silver glitter hearts on the paper. So here's my finished card inspired by this sketch from Pink and Main. And let me show it to you close up. Okay. So it is just a beautiful kind of, I guess you would call it a teal blue with silver glitter hearts all over it. And that's why I use silver glitter paper for that heart. And then I had some glitter paper that was this exact same color as this teal blue. And that's why I used that for the words. And then there's pink down here in the plaid. So that's why I used pink for the envelope and these hearts. And I thought it just brought everything together. And it's not showing up really well on camera, but I used the shimmer brush on these hearts, which is kind of like Wink of Stella. But I think that this came out perfect for my beautiful granddaughter. And not to waste anything, I made this card with these 3 pieces that were cut out at the same time I cut out everything else. And let me show you that. This card wasn't made using one of the sketches. It's just what I put together with those 3 pieces. And so, I kept with the pink theme and, pink and the teal. And so I used the same pink cardstock for the background on this, and then silver glitter paper to cut out the Happy Valentine's Day. And those hearts look red, but they are not. They are kind of a raspberry colored, raspberry pink glitter paper. But I thought they added, a little pop of color there that this card may have needed. And this one is going to my niece's daughter because she is such a sweetheart and I love her. So I made 2 cards today. I just didn't make this one on camera. The video was getting a little bit long, but you can see that I just, glued the one piece at the top, the other piece at the bottom, and this 3rd piece right across the center. So very simple, very easy to do. And those are the Valentines I made today using Pink and Main's Card Cut Essentials die set number 4 and paper from my stash that was 15 years old. And I hope that they give you some last minute ideas for some Valentines of your own. Okay, even though my cuddle bug cut everything else out just fine, I'm going to try to do this again. I took a piece of paper out of the same paper pad so that it can't be, oh, you're using paper that's 15 years old, so it made a difference. So this is out of the same paper pad. I just picked a piece that I didn't like as much as I liked the others. And I am going to cut it the same way so that I'm just cutting that top section. So I want everything to be the same, okay? I want to give it a chance, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, and there it is. I moved it, and now I've moved it back. Okay, anyways, put it through here. I'm keeping everything live. Everything was live before. It is, now. I'm not editing anything out. So, and I'm using the reverse button, whereas before I cranked it back. So I am doing everything the same. Okay? And we're going to remove this and see if it cut better. Maybe it was the Cuttlebug. Maybe it does not like the Cuttlebug. Okay, those two pieces came out just fine. It looks like everything is coming out just fine. So I have no idea what the problem was in the other one. Okay. Like I said, I do prefer my Sizzix because it cuts beautifully. And so it cut everything beautifully. So I wanted to really give this pink and Maine die a chance and see if it was the die or the machine, or maybe it was a combination of the two, that maybe it just works better in a machine like this. I don't know. But you can see right now that it cut everything beautifully, so we're going to leave it at that. I truly wanted to share how easy it is to make cards using the Pink and Maine Card Cut Essential dies, and as you can see, I had different results with different machines. So with all of the die cutting issues aside, I hope that my video at least gave you a little inspiration to pull out some things from your stash that you may have forgotten about and make some beautiful cards. And if you're interested, I will have links below to the Pink and Maine die set and the Coca Rosa die set and the Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.